The next section is for basic information. We'll click Start to continue. And on this section, we're going to click on household members to select them for each question and click on them again if you need to deselect. Again, your progress is saved as you go, and you can always exit the application and finish later. We're going to go ahead and click Begin section. The first page is in regards to special enrollment, informing you must have a qualifying life event to apply through Covered California during a special enrollment. Regardless of the life event selected, we will also see if you're eligible for Medi-Cal. There's a link for special enrollment to give you more information and provides information about the events that have happened to you or someone in your household recently or expect to experience in the near future. Also, federally recognized American Indian or Alaskan Natives can enroll at any time. There's also a link to see the full list of qualifying life events and a tooltip. Under the Select, there is a drop-down that provides different types of qualifying life events or major life events as they're also known. We're choosing that loss or will lose health coverage is the qualifying life event. The date of that life event was in September. We'll just move our calendar back to September 22nd. In addition, where can I find the date of my qualifying life event? There is a drop down that provides information that can be useful in deciding that date. We're going to click Next to continue. And in the event when you choose loss of coverage, the next page will always go to the strike lockout benefit. Strike lockout benefit is if someone in your household experienced their loss of coverage due to a strike, and that is an approved strike with Covered California. If that answer was yes, there is a drop down that would provide you with any approved strikes that are currently in process. At this time, neither Jack or Jill were part of a strike lockout, so we're going to change our answer back to no. We'll be able to continue, clicking next. The next page is deciding who is the primary contact for your household. The primary contact is a person who can make changes to your coverage. There is a link and tooltip why we're asking this. The application always defaults to the first person entered, but you could change that to the other household member if desired. And that you can tell who's being chosen as the primary contact because of the blue check mark. We're going to go back and leave it as Jack. The next question is about his social security number. We always encourage to include a social security number because that may help in deciding verification identity amongst other factors. So I'm going to go ahead and enter that social. As soon as I've entered the social, it is masked. However, if you want to verify what you've entered, just unmask and then mask back. The masking option was also implemented with our 25.6 release. Scrolling down, contact information. How would Jack like to receive notices and other information? We have choices of email, phone, or mail. And as you can see, when we entered Jack's information initially, we entered an email address and a cell phone number, and they auto-populated in that section. Jack's saying that he wants to receive his information through email. And since there was a cell phone entered, if Jack would like to get calls and text messages about health information and their account from Covered California, we can select one or more phone number for that. And Jack's saying, no, I really don't want that. So we're going to click next to continue. And there is just a pop-up saying, are you sure that you can opt in to get updates? And no to go back would allow us to check that. Yes, continue allows us to continue on the application. Down the home and mailing address section, as a part of the 25.9 release, an update to the application, there is a new question. Is Jack experiencing homelessness? Which can be answered yes or no. In the event you're answering yes to the homelessness question, that does change the requirements for the home address and information regarding the mailing address. Answering yes, the home address only needed is the city, state, and zip code for where the consumer spends the most time to help them find the best healthcare options. In the event that they do have a home address below, that can still be entered, such as a family member or friend's address. Mailing address, when the answer is yes for homelessness, is very important because we send the updates about eligibility. If you don't have one, you can use a family member or friend's address. Also, you can use general delivery at a nearby post office. For general delivery, you would enter that in the street address along with the city, state, and zip code. For our application, I'm going to change that back to no, and we will need to enter that information for the home address or physical address for Jack. I'm going to just enter that really quick. I've entered the street address, city, zip code, and that populates a confirm your address screen. It provides us with the original address we entered and the recommended address. Whenever possible, we want to choose the recommended address, which is what we're doing today using that selected address. That takes us to the mailing address, which can be different than the home address, and that section can be completed if that is the case. For Jack, it's the same as his home address. Now we're able to click next to continue. So now we need to verify Jack's identity. And these are questions are only asked about the primary contact. If you don't know the answers, you may want to choose a different primary contact. There are two options for that question. The question first is, I attest that I have visually confirmed the person's identities. Answering yes would require an upload of an acceptable identity document. Clicking no will take us to the remote identity proofing process, or known as RIDP. With our 25.6 release, we have updated the identity proofing and also the RID process. That update has allowed for that classification and validation of information to be processed rather quickly on the first try. The success rate for that has improved from the prior RIDP process. So we're going to go ahead and click no. I've not visually confirmed the person's identity. Clicking no populates the consent information that we need to inform our consumer that we're using a third-party contractor. So CalHEERS that assists with that identity verification, and that the personal information is only used for that purpose. Once that information has been provided to our consumer, the attestation of I've consumed inform the consumer about identity verification process, including the disclosure of their personal identifiable information, and that we've explained the necessity of sharing the PII with Secure. We're going to answer yes, and then clicking next. Wow, we've successfully verified Jack's identity, and that allows us to continue with the rest of the application. In the event that it did not successfully verify, the RID process would take us to another step that would require an upload of identification and a selfie for our consumer that connects them with Secure, the vendor. That information is then linked between the consumer's cell phone or a tablet with the Secure to, again, validate and classify that information. We're going to go ahead and click continue so we may continue with the application. Next question is, do all the household members, select all household members who do not live with Jack. And Jill does live with them, so we're going to select nobody. And next. And then which household members are applying for health care? Both Jack and Jill are applying. And then clicking next. Selecting any household members who were in foster care in any state on their 18th birthday or later. These household members may be eligible for Medi-Cal until age 26, and income does not matter. Due to the fact that Jill is 25, that's why this question populates. And Jill has responded that she was never in any foster care. So we'll click nobody. Selecting next to continue. Questions about the Medicare program. And hint is provided that it includes Medicare Part A and Part B. And we've been informed that neither Jack nor Jill are enrolled in Medicare. And the next question is about, are they eligible for free Medicare Part A? And that answer is also nobody. That allows us to continue next. So going to our next section is we're selecting members who are U.S. citizens or U.S. nationals. And the hint that's provided is the U.S. citizens include naturalized or derived citizens. And both Jack and Jill are indicating that they are citizens of the United States. Clicking next to continue. Are there any household members who are pregnant? There's a tooltip also regarding that question. We're going to click nobody is pregnant in the household. Who's an American Indian or Alaska Native? Neither Jack or Jill are qualified, so we're selecting nobody. So now that we have completed the basic information, again, that green check mark, and also that review link if any information needs to be edited before we go on to the next section.